Hi Northwest Ballet Center family. We are starting our first day of fun daily dance posts. Each day for the next 2 weeks will consist of different stretches, techniques, skills, and choreography that I will be posting on this page through our new YouTube YouTube site. So you can follow us, continue following us on the Facebook here, or if you just follow us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you will see these videos as well. For today's video, our first video of our 2-week session, we're going to be doing stretches that you can do at home. I'm joined by my husband here. This is Daniel. He's going to help demonstrate with me. These are all stretches that I do in all of my classes, plus a few extra that you could be doing at home to keep your bodies ready to dance when we come back together. So the first stretch we're going to do is called a butterfly stretch. You're going to put the bottoms of your feet together like so, and the goal is to be sitting up nice and tall and getting your knees as close to the ground as you can. And what we're doing is we're creating butterfly wings with our legs, and what I like to do is do a little bit of a flap. So we'll rock those knees up and down, and then we'll do a stretch forward, flat back towards your feet. Then we'll stretch up and back, and forward once again. We're going to sit up one more time, nice and straight, and you're going to allow one leg to go all the way out, nice and straight. You want your knee to be flat, keeping one leg still in, and you're going to reach for the tops of the toes on that straight leg. So for those of you who want a little bit more of a stretch, you can take that other arm, the opposite arm, stretch up and over. Come sit up, and we're going to switch legs. So my straight leg's going to bend back into the butterfly, and my bent leg is going to stretch out, and I will now reach for the toes on this straight leg. And just like you're seeing here, even if you can't reach your toes all the way, you want to reach as far as you can while keeping a straight leg, so don't let that knee come up and bend. You want to keep it down on the ground. Always bring that other arm over for an extra stretch. Alright, coming back up. Now what we'll do is we'll do a straddle stretch, so both legs will be out nice and straight. And you want to be able to spread your legs as far as you comfortably can. Don't overstretch at any point. You do want to feel the stretch happening, but you don't want to hurt yourself. Make sure your knees are nice and straight, legs are nice and straight. Knees are either pointing up to the ceiling or back behind you. We're going to take our hands in front and we're going to slowly walk them forward. Yeah, so you're going to go as far as you can while keeping a straight back. And you want to make sure that your bottom is still staying on the ground, so you don't want to be lifting off too much. You're still sitting and you're just stretching your arms forward. And you'll walk your hands back, and we'll shake our legs together into a pike stretch. So our legs are nice and straight in front of us. We're going to start with toes pointed. So you want to straight line all the way out past your toes. We're going to reach up with a fifth, nice and tall, and we're going to stretch forward. Trying to get your chest to your legs. and we're trying to touch the top of our feet. So you can drop your arms all the way down, yeah. And so with this stretch, you want to keep your toes nice and pointed, just like how we're doing here. And even if you aren't reaching all the way to your toes, you want to reach as far as you can with straight legs, so don't let your knees bend. Okay. Now we're going to switch to a flex foot. So we're lifting those toes to point up to the ceiling, and we're going to reach up once again, and up and over, trying to reach behind our toes, so the bottoms of our feet if we can. And bring them a little bit lower, there you go. And so again, keeping the feet flexed and the legs straight is more important than grabbing your feet. You want to reach as far as you can with straight legs. And if you are someone who's a little bit more flexible like I am, and I can already reach my feet, if you want more of a stretch, then you can also bend your elbows, and it gives you more of a stretch on the backs of your legs. Alright, releasing. We're going to take our right leg, cross it over the left, and we're going to hug in that knee. So you should be feeling the stretch right on the back of your thigh, / the side of your thigh. This is another one where you want to sit up nice and tall. Alright, and we're going to switch sides, so the other leg will cross over now, and we'll hug in that knee. So this next stretch we're going to do is called a seal stretch. So you have your head on this side of your stomach. Yeah, so this one you're going to lay on your stomach, and with just your hands you're going to push up off the ground. So you can bring your hands in, and then you're going to push off the ground. Yeah, so you want to try to keep your hips towards the ground while you're lifting your upper body off, keeping your shoulders down and relaxed. Don't let them hunch up. Yeah, so this is a nice stretch for your back, and this is called our seal stretch. I know for some of you with a flexible back, some of you like to try to get your feet to touch your head. You can also add that in for a little extra stretch, but the main stretch is right here, this seal stretch. Alright. From here, what we'll do next is go into a child's pose. So we are going to bend our knees and push our hips back towards our feet. And we're keeping our head right in between our arms. So you don't want to be too far forward and too far back. You want to keep it right in between your arms. From here, if you want a little bit of a shoulder stretch, you can take this right arm and tuck it under the left. Alright, so you're going to take it and you tuck it under, and you're just going to breathe in and out, keeping your shoulders and hips nice and square to the ground. And then we'll switch sides. So now your left arm is going to go under the right as you are in this child's pose. Good. From here, you can bring both arms out. You're going to walk your hands in by your knees. Ooh, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, so you walk your hands in by your knees. Then we're going to tuck in our toes, and we're going to stand on our feet, rolling up. So the head is the last thing to come up. Alright. And then because we're in our living room, you won't see all parts of our body, but you want to reach your arms up as high as you can reach. So how do you stay back here, yeah? So I'm going to be on my knees so you can see my hands too. So you want to reach up as high as you can reach. So you're going to be standing. And then we're going to lean to the side. And we'll reach again. And lean to the other side. Good. From here, you're still standing. I'm just showing my arms. Arms drop down to a nice big T. Your feet are glued to the ground. And you're just going to twist that upper body. Yeah. If you have siblings who are joining you or your parents are joining you, make sure you give each other enough space where you're not going to whack each other. And from here we go into a full body shake. So you just shake out all your limbs and your head and your neck. Relax everything we've just stretched. Alright, so this is what I typically do with my pre-ballet and ballet 1. For the higher levels, I would add on more stretches. So our next stretch is going to be a lunge. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your right leg and you're going to walk that foot forward, keeping it nice and bent at a 90-degree angle. So I turn this way. You can see that it's like a little corner, perfect corner there. And my back leg is staying nice and straight. And my heel in the back is lifted. My feet are parallel, so I'm pointing both feet forward. The goal is to get that front knee to a 90-degree angle, but if you aren't there yet, you might be a little bit higher up, which is perfectly fine. So we're going to stretch here for a little bit. You can do different things with your arms to help you get your balance. You can do arms out, arms up. Right now we're doing a little bit of an arm, our hands on our knees. You might fall over and that's okay. Just get back up and try again. From here, we're going to drop that back knee to the ground and untuck those toes. So if I turn to the side, you will see, let me scoot back a little bit. If I turn to the side, you'll see that my back knee is on the ground. My front leg is still in a 90-degree angle, so my knee is right above my ankle. I'm doing a little more of a stretch here. The next stretch we're going to have is we're going to push our hips all the way back so that our front knee is straight and our back knee is now bent. And I'm actually going to put my hands back onto the ground to give a little extra stretch. From here, I'm going to go back into my lunge. So I'm going to switch my hips forward again. My knee is still on the ground. Just switched my hips forward. And I'm going to turn away from my front leg. So that's going to make me switch my hips. So I'm almost sitting with one leg straight and one leg bent. So I'm sitting with one leg straight, one leg bent. My foot is flat on the ground. And I'm going to turn back in towards my knee to go back into my first lunge. Good. I'm going to bring that back leg to slide in to meet the front. And from here we get to switch legs. So now my right leg will go back and I will be in that lunge again. And I'm going to bring my hands up onto my leg. And then again here, you can do arms out in a T, arms up by your head. Some people like to go out in front, testing your balance. I'm keeping my hands on my thigh for today. And we'll drop that back knee. You drop it to the ground, untuck your toes. And I'm choosing to stay up, but you can also put hands down on either side of that front foot, or some people put both elbows down inside of the front foot. There's a lot of variations to this. Now we're going to push those hips back behind us and straighten out the front leg, dropping the hands onto the floor either side of your leg. And pushing back forward. And so we're going to turn away from our front leg, just making me turn away from you guys. And we're gonna sit down. I'm gonna flip around so you can see. So again, I'm sitting on one side with the leg straight. The other side is a bent leg, but my foot is flat on the ground. And I just flipped around so I could face the camera. But I still have my left leg bent, right leg is straight. Okay, again, I'm going to turn in towards my leg to go back into my first lunge. So you're going to turn into that leg. There you go. You're going to walk that back leg into the front, just sliding it forward. And we're going to roll up to standing. So for this next style of stretch, we're going to be standing up nice and tall, arms out into a big T. Your feet are going to be spread a little bit wider than shoulder width. And we are going to lean to one side, lean to the other, and we go up and over to the right. We're going to come back up into the T, and we'll lean to the left, lean to the right, and up and over to the left. Good. Come back up. I like to turn to my right, arms come up into a fifth, and we're going to do a flat back forward to a 90-degree angle towards the right leg, and then dropping down to the right foot. So you'll stay down your stretch. So again, in this stretch, you want to go as far down as you can, reaching towards that foot while keeping straight legs. If you can't reach all the way down to your foot, you can just kind of hang down there as close as you can. Don't worry about too much about grabbing onto your leg or your clothes trying to really reach. Just do a nice natural stretch, even if you're only right here. As long as you're letting the upper body just hang over, you'll get a stretch going. And then we're going to do a flat back to rise up all the way. And we would turn to the other side. So we're going to turn to the left, lift our arms up into a fifth position, and flat back to 90. This is the tabletop here. And then all the way down towards the left foot. Good. Yeah. While you're stretching in this stretch here towards your left foot, you can do different variations of plie straight to get a little bit more of a stretch. Sometimes what I'll do in a class is, as I'm reaching towards that left foot, my opposite foot, my right foot, will then go, it will lift into a releve and then back down into a plie. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but if you can, the foot will go up and then down as I'm stretching towards this leg. So I'll be lifting up and down, up and down. Those are things you can do different variations of. Otherwise, we're just going to be sticking to this nice little stretch down here. So moving away from the left foot, we're lifting up with a flat back, out into that big T once again. Feet are a little wide. And from here, I like to do some plies. So I'm going to turn my feet out into second position. And I'm going to bend those knees. Plie and straight. Plie and straight. Plie and straight. Plie and straight. We're going to do one more. We're going to stay down there a little bit. And we're just going to pulse. Good. We're going to stretch our ankles out just a little bit by lifting up the right heel off the ground. Still both legs are bent. and that right foot goes down. Left heel comes off the ground, and it goes back down. And both heels will come off the ground. Test your balance, and both heels down. Then we'll switch up. Walk your feet in to a parallel position. Starting from the very top, you're gonna roll down your body. And we're gonna hang over our body here. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can kind of see what's going on. From here, we're gonna go out to a downward dog. So I'm walking my hands forward. Yeah, so you can bend your knees to get to the ground a little bit, and then walk your hands forward so you are in a mountain shape. Yes. So in this downward dog, you want to make sure you can walk your hands even more forward. Yeah, good. So you want to make sure that you are putting your ears right in between your elbows, your arms, keeping, you walk your hands forward just a little more actually. Yeah, good. And you want to press into those feet, into those heels. Yeah, so we're creating a mountain shape with our bodies here. And we're just doing a little stretch. You should feel a stretch in your back and a little bit in your calves as well. From here, you're gonna push your hips forward and go into a push-up position. Make sure you don't drop those hips. Good, and you're just gonna hold this plank for a little bit. I like to mix my stretches with a little bit of conditioning, just because you're stretching out your body, but you're also working those muscles at the same time. From here, we're gonna bring those hips back up into your downward dog, so they lift. Good. So they lift, you wanna try to keep a nice straight line all the way out to the top of your head. And then you'll push your hips back down into your push-up position. Make sure your hips don't drop too far down. You'll hold there for a little bit longer, and then we'll drop our hips all the way down back into our seal pose. So you can untuck those toes in the back, and you're in your seal once again. From here, I'll push my hips back into the child's pose one more time. Alright, so after we did that variation of the downward dog push-up position, our plank, downward dog push-up position, we went into a seal, and then we pushed our hips back into another child's pose. So this stretch actually happens a couple times throughout my routine of stretching. From here, you can walk your hands back in. You're going to tuck your toes and roll up. Yeah, you're going to tuck your toes in to stand on your feet and roll up. Good. Alright. And that's where we'll end our video for today. So those are just a few stretches that I do in my classes. Some classes will do bits and pieces of those, some classes will do the full thing. You don't have to do it in that same order. You can choose a stretch that you like, maybe practice that a little bit longer, or create your own order with all those different types of stretches. And you can even add in stretches that you know of that I didn't show today. Each stretch you want to hold for at least 15 to 30 seconds, I would say. But I just did a quicker version so you could kind of follow along, kind of get an idea of what we're doing. And then tomorrow I'll have another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Each video for the next 16 days, the rest of the month, will consist of different things I'll be doing here. And you should be able to really just watch these videos, and you can add on each day or just stick to one video a day. It's kind of up to you. But I hope you like the videos, and I hope they're getting you moving, making you feel a little bit more creative and fun each day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.